Breaking news, sorry to pause this. I don't know if people saw, but apparently we have, and I bring this up because Ben, you and Nathan had a debate about this, and you had a debate on my show about this, which is who was worse, more of a threat, Biden or Trump. And one of your arguments was that Biden is more of a hawk than Trump. And it looks like we just bombed, Syria? Let me just get this right. U.S. carries out airstrike in Syria after rocket attacks. The strike was defensive in nature, writes Politico, but was a response to the 3 attacks endangering Americans in Iraqi this month. It says in Iraqi. Let me take a screenshot of that. President Joe Biden ordered an airstrike on facilities used by Iran-backed militia groups in eastern Syria on Thursday night in response to 3 separate rocket attacks against U.S. forces in Iraq, according to a Pentagon spokesperson. Oh, Matt, this is exactly what you love.
According to the unnamed, according to a source familiar with the matter.
Yeah. And related to the Pentagon or the intelligence community. The strikes destroyed several facilities at a border control point used by a number of Iran-backed militia groups linked to the attacks against U.S. forces in Iraq, including Kataib Hezbollah and Kataib Saeed al-Shuhada, Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby said in a statement. These strikes were authorized in response to recent attacks against American and coalition personnel in Iraq and to ongoing threats to those personnel. The airstrikes were designed to damage the militia group's ability to conduct future attacks, a defense official told Politico. The U.S. military alone carried out the operation without the aid of allies. However, Kirby said the U.S. conducted the strike together with diplomatic measures, including consultation with coalition partners. The operation sends an unambiguous message. President Biden will act to protect American and coalition personnel. At the same time, we've acted in a deliberate manner that aims to de-escalate the overall situation in both eastern Syria and Iraq. Reuters first reported the news. The retaliatory strike comes more than a week after a dozen rockets believed to be linked to Iran-backed militia groups targeted coalition forces outside Ibril International Airport, killing 1 non-U.S. contractor and wounding 9 more people, including 5 Americans. Then on Saturday, at least 4 rockets struck Balad Air Base, which houses American contractors who provide support to Iraq's fleet of U.S.-made F-16 fighter jets, wounding 1 person. And on Monday, 2 rockets fell near the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad inside the green zone. No injuries or casualties were reported. Biden initially faced criticism for not immediately pinning blame for the attacks on Iran, which has frequently carried out similar strikes against U.S. and coalition troops in Iraq. Some have been fatal. The decision to strike in Syria instead of Iraq was likely made to avoid causing issues for the Iraqi government, which remains a partner in the counterterrorism fight against ISIS, said Mick Mulroy, a former Pentagon official who oversaw Middle East issues. Mulroy advised the Biden team during the transition at the Pentagon. The strikes were likely calculated and scaled to avoid any escalation, while sending a message that Iran's use of militias as proxies will not allow them to avoid responsibility, Mulroy added. Thursday strikes come as the Biden administration strives to renew negotiations with Iran after former President Trump withdrew from the 2015 nuclear deal, sparking escalating tensions between Washington and Tehran. The U.S. maintains 900 troops in Syria and has no immediate plans to reduce the number, according to 2 other defense officials. The troops are there to support local forces fighting ISIS remnants, but also to serve as a buffer against Iranian influence. Wow, there's a lot to unpack in that.
My guess is that there was probably some kind of bad domestic news about to come down the pipeline, and they just did this to...
Like Nira not getting confirmed, maybe?
Right, I don't know, and I'm kidding, but...
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not, Bill Clinton, that was what did he do? He bombed, wasn't that what... There was some Monica-fueled Iraq thing? Or was that Sudan?
Or was that Ricky Ray, the Ricky Ray execution?
Right.
That's 2 different things, actually. Yeah, he did do a bombing to distract from what we called at the time his sex scandals. That is true. But he also executed Ricky Ray Rector during the campaign to make sure that people knew he was tough on crime. So he wasn't even president yet before he murdered.
But he was already being presidential.
Yes, by murdering people. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Most presidential thing you can do. Today is the day Joe Biden became president because he hasn't done shit in the past month since.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
You're
right. That's right.
That's actually a very good point.
Yeah, the ominous line there for me is that the U.S. has no immediate plans to reduce the number of, because that probably means they're going to increase the number.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but so here we are. Yeah. Well,
What do you expect from the guy who tried to soft partition Iraq?
right.
Yeah. I mean, on the other hand, though, Ben, he does have a different kind of background. You know, he once went to South Africa and was arrested while visiting Nelson Mandela, by which he means he went through an airport security checkpoint, and was separated from his party because it was apartheid, and he's white, and he was with African Americans. So, but that's kind of like an arrest. He was stopped.
I mean, you could probably interpret it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate when I'm arrested
While he was separated
by
from that party, I'm sure that party had to look at the empty chair that he would have been sitting in.
Yeah, exactly. Clint Eastwood was there, yeah. I hate when TSA arrests me. Makes me, you know.
Well, that is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, that is one of the. So who came down on the side of Biden or Trump being worse? Was that actually a debate you had?
Ben did. I mean, for not even you were saying we would be worse off with Biden president.
Overall,
with
long
Trump.
term.
Overall, long
For
term.
long, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the hawkishness in part.
In part, and just in general, because I think that Biden will make the country more right wing.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the aggressive foreign policy thing is pretty conspicuous with this crew, right? But I mean, would they go to war with Iran, or I can't imagine that.
I doubt anybody's going to do that.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm moved by the beauty of what did Brian Williams quote Leonard Cohen?
Oh yeah, the beauty of our weapons
our
or something
missiles,
like that.
weapons,
Yeah,
yeah.
that weirdly tumescent kind of quote of his was.
Yeah.
Remember that? Who was it that completely lost all sense of decorum when they were looking at the Moab footage? Was that Geraldo Rivera?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. They were like watching it on TV, and they were just.
I think it was the CNN guy. Wolf
CNN?
Blitzer.
Wolf
I think it was
Blitzer?
Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah, outstanding,
Yeah.
excellent.